At a young age, I saw a glimpse of darkness. All my eyes were closed in my room, and I could not explain what was happening to me. The feeling of emptiness stuck with me, and I didn't know what to do. There's nothing to look at, and I feel trapped inside the room with no one to talk to. You just sit there and look at the wall. You'll never get out of this room, never see the light again, never be free. You try to find a way out, but you can't. The darkness grew, consuming everything, and I couldn't find a way out. I was stuck in that room, and I began to feel afraid. I was scared of the darkness, the unknown, and I didn't know why. But that feeling is what stayed with me. When you're depressed, you don't want to leave your bed or be disturbed. However, overcoming depression will demand you to rise and connect with life once more. Isolating oneself while you're depressed is the worst thing you can do since isolation exacerbates melancholy. So I advocate finding a way to divert your attention and energy. I started to notice some mild depressive symptoms. I've been plagued with worry, anxiety, and hopelessness for years. I was pretty harsh when I had a tiny setback and I became highly disappointed. It was tough for me to think that I could go through challenging conditions for some reason. Depression can turn a generally joyful and gregarious person into someone unhappy, withdrawn, and disillusioned with life. I know this from personal experience. But my background and upbringing didn't save me from having my dark periods, which even my family and close friends were unaware of, and I didn't just feel down. I suffered from depression occasionally. I had a continuous sense of melancholy and hopelessness. Many of the things I liked had lost their appeal, and I honestly believed that my family and friends would be better off without me. I felt like an outcast. I felt inadequate. I felt as though I couldn't take another breath. So I know how it feels to be unable to get out of the bed. I know how it feels to be in the midst of profound and terrible pain that appears challenging to overcome. No one would have believed me if I told them I was depressed since I had pretended to be happy for so long. But now that I've come out the other side, I'm pleased that I didn't give up everything I've learned and accomplished. So, while you may be discouraged, you don't have to be since better days are on the way. I didn't realize how widespread depression was since I always felt alone in my struggle. I had no notion that 1 in every 10 persons suffer from depression. Please do me a favor. Keep an eye on those who are close to you. People rarely ask cheerful and powerful people how they are doing since they are assumed to have great lives. You may not realize it, but the person who always smiles when you encounter them secretly suffers from sadness. As a result, admitting that something has to change is the first step in overcoming depression. You can't mend something you don't acknowledge. Suppression, denial, and acting as if everything is okay will not make you feel better. You may deceive others, but you can't fool yourself. You can't mislead yourself in front of the mirror, the person you see every day, and I understand. It's challenging to let your guard down and admit that you're struggling when you look to have it all together. I recall wondering how I was able to boost everyone else up, but when it came to my position, I felt hopeless. Things began to improve only once I dared to accept that I wasn't as happy as I appeared to be. I was suppressing a rejection wound, childhood trauma, and rage. So allow me to express this uprooting. Anger and resentment are challenging to overcome. However, hanging on to anything influences your physical, emotional, and mental well-being, so let it all go now. Let it go. I realized I couldn't hold on to my anger anymore since it robbed me of my joy. So, today, I'd like you to set yourself free. Set yourself free from the emotional turbulence that has been causing you to lose your cool. So, after successfully conquering depression, I resolved to put in the effort required to feel genuine happiness. Happiness is a consequence of a personal choice, not a function of my circumstances. As a result, I'm more aware of when I'm getting overwhelmed, when I need to take a mental break, or when I need to call on my support system. I challenge you to ignore the negative ideas that try to convince you that your life will never be better. When you're depressed, remind yourself that you deserve to be joyful and that things will get better. You have no desire to leave your bed. You don't want anyone bothering you. So I advocate finding a way to divert your attention and energy. You may listen to an upbeat singer or watch an inspirational film, take a stroll, or call someone who will make you laugh. Doing the polar opposite of what you want to do is the secret to feeling better. You must stand up. You must connect with people, even if you don't feel like it. Because sorrow reduces productivity. You must find strategies to avoid thinking. Anxiety is usually caused by an unpleasant event or an expectation of one. When you sense a pressure approach, shift your focus away from "this isn't fair" or "why do I have to deal with this as well?" I may not be feeling well right now, but I will not let anxiety or fear prevent me from enjoying this gift. Allowing your mind to stray into worry and despair may feel normal, but failing to challenge negative thinking reinforces it. Your perceptions are your thoughts. They aren't who you are. So pay attention to your ideas and interrupt them before they spiral out of hand. It takes effort to overcome despair and to commit to happiness. But it is not impossible. Making a mistake does not automatically imply that you are a failure. It takes a long time to recover from depression. It requires effort. Happiness comes naturally to some, but it takes effort for most of us. Are you prepared to struggle for your enjoyment? I hope that joy and tranquility will find you and give you the strength to keep going. You are still here. Even if you are not where you want to be right now, you are still here. Find the single beam of light shown through a small crack in the wall, illuminating the room for a moment, and treat it as the light of hope in your heart and never lose hope. And I never will.